The winter wind slid softly across the hills of Judea, brushing through the olive trees like a quiet whisper from the heavens. The sky was deep and vast, a canvas of dark velvet spangled with stars so bright that they looked almost close enough to touch. Travelers from every corner of the region were scattered across the winding roads, their voices drifting into the night as they moved toward their ancestral towns. Bethlehem, normally a humble village, small and scarcely noticed, had transformed into a hive of movement. Torches flickered at every doorway. Families crowded the narrow paths. Donkeys brayed in protest under heavy loads, and the air buzzed with the restless tension of bodies trying to settle in a place suddenly too small for them all. The Roman decree had left no home empty, no corner untouched by footsteps. Among the countless travelers on the rough, uneven road was a young couple, Joseph, a carpenter from Nazareth, walking with steady determination despite his weariness, and Mary, heavily pregnant, riding upon a small donkey Joseph had borrowed for the journey. Mary tried to hide her discomfort, though her time was clearly near. Every jolt of the donkey sent a ripple of pain through her body, yet she bore it with a calmness that seemed almost otherworldly. She held her belly gently, as one might cradle a fragile miracle. Joseph walked beside her, watching her with anxious eyes. "We'll be there soon," he whispered. "Hold on just a little longer." Mary smiled softly, though the strain showed on her face. "I trust you," she said. "And I trust him." The words steadied Joseph's heart. He remembered the angel who had visited him in a dream. The message so unbelievable, yet so undeniable. Mary had not betrayed him. The child she carried was of the Holy Spirit. Joseph had woken from that dream transformed, his doubts replaced by a calling he couldn't fully explain. But he knew it was true. Still, as they approached Bethlehem, he couldn't help the knot of worry tightening in his stomach. The town was overflowing. Every inn had lights burning late into the night, each one crowded with travelers just like them. The streets were louder than usual. Children crying, animals bleating, voices rising in frustration. How would he find a place for Mary to rest, especially tonight? As they turned a corner, another sharp pain crossed Mary's face. She gripped the saddle tightly. Joseph rushed to steady her. "It's starting." Mary breathed. "The pains. They're closer now." Joseph swallowed hard. His pulse quickened. "We need shelter immediately," he murmured. They reached the first inn. Joseph knocked loudly until the innkeeper finally answered with an exasperated sigh. "All full," the man barked. "There's nowhere to sleep, not even the floor." Joseph tried to explain. "Please, my wife is about to give birth." But the man only shook his head firmly. "I'm sorry." They moved on, Joseph supporting Mary as she leaned heavily on him. The second innkeeper listened with sympathy, but still said the same words, "I have no room." A third door opened only for the man to say, "Everyone is here for the census. We've turned away dozens tonight. I truly cannot help you." Mary closed her eyes. Breathing through the pain, Joseph's heart twisted. He felt helpless, torn between fear and faith. He whispered, "Lord, guide me." Suddenly, a voice called from behind, "Wait." Joseph turned. The innkeeper of the last house they had tried approached with a lantern, his face softened by concern. "I cannot offer you a proper room," he said slowly, "but there is a stable behind the inn. It's not much, just stone walls and hay, but it's warm and quiet." Joseph bowed his head gratefully. "Thank you, truly." He guided Mary toward the small structure built into the hillside. The air inside was warmer than expected, thick with the smell of animals but somehow comforting. Soft, dry straw covered the floor. Several sheep stirred sleepily, and a cow lifted its head to regard them with gentle curiosity. Joseph quickly laid fresh hay into a pile for Mary to rest on. The lantern's glow cast golden shadows across the walls. Mary settled down with difficulty, and as soon as she sat, another strong contraction tightened her entire body. "It's time," she whispered. Joseph knelt beside her, taking her hand. The fear in his chest was undeniable, yet Mary's calmness anchored him. She was not afraid, not of the pain, not of the world, not of the responsibility she bore. It was as if she knew she was exactly where she was meant to be. Outside, the stars seemed to gather over the stable, shining brighter than any torch or lantern. The night grew strangely still, as if the world itself paused to witness what was about to unfold. Mary's breaths grew shorter, sharper. Joseph wiped her forehead, speaking gently, doing everything he could to ease her suffering. Though he was no midwife, he relied on instinct and prayer. The animals fell silent,